Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Jashoda Nandana Praja Janarandana. Jashoda Nandana Praja Janarandana. Jashoda Nandana Praja Janarandana. Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Jamunatira Vanashari. Jamunatira Vanashari. Jamunatira Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Tirubha Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, please. Aho Patashwa Pachato Garyan Jivagre Varditeya Namatu Byam Tipus Tapaste Jehuvasasna Arya Brahmanashra Nama Grananti Ete. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Midatam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aho Batashwa Pachato Gariyan Yajivagre Vartate Nama Tubhyam Tapus Tapas Te Juhusasna Arya Brahmana Chur Nama Grananti Yete. Ahobata, oh how glorious, Shrupacha, a dog eater, Atta, hence, Gariyan, worshipable, yet of whom, Jiva Agre, on the tip of the tongue, Vartate is Nama, the holy name, Tubhyam, unto you, Teputapa, practiced austerities, Te, they, Juhuvu, executed fire sacrifices, Sasnu, took bath in the sacred rivers, Arya, Aryans, Brahma Anuchu, studied the Vedas, Nama, the holy name, Grananti, except, Ye, Dehu, Te, your. Translation, oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the families of dog eaters, such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As it is stated in the previous verse, a person who has once offenselessly chanted the holy name of God becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices. One should not be astonished by this statement of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should not disbelieve or think, how by chanting the holy name of the Lord can one become a holy man to be compared to the most elevated Brahmana? To eradicate such doubts in the minds of unbelievers, this verse affirms that the stage of chanting the holy name of the Lord is not sudden, but that the chanters have already performed all kinds of Vedic rituals and sacrifices. It is not very astounding, for no one in this life can chant the holy name of the Lord unless he has passed all lower stages, such as performing the Vedic ritualistic sacrifices, studying the Vedas, and practicing good behavior like that of the Aryans. All this must first have been done, just as a student in a law class is to be understood to have already graduated from general education. Anyone who is engaged in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, must have already passed all lower stages. It is said that those who simply chant the holy name with the tip of the tongue are glorious. One does not even have to chant the holy name and understand the whole procedure, namely the offensive stage, offenseless stage, and pure stage. If the holy name is sounded on the tip of the tongue, that is also sufficient. It is said herein that Nama, a singular number, one name, Krishna or Rama, is sufficient. It is not that one has to chant all the holy names of the Lord. The holy names of the Lord are innumerable, and one does not have to chant all the names to prove that he has already undergone all the processes of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. If one chants only once, it is to be understood that he has already passed all the examinations, not to speak of those who are chanting always 24 hours a day. It is specifically said here, Tubhyam, unto you only. One must chant God's name, not, as the Mayavadi philosophers say, any name, such as a demigod's name or the names of God's energies. Only the holy name of the Lord will be effective. Anyone who compares the holy name of the Supreme Lord to the names of the demigods is called Pashandi, or an offender. The holy name has to be chanted to please the Supreme Lord and not for any sense gratification or professional purpose. If this pure mentality is there, then even though a person is born of a low family, such as a dog eater's, he is so glorious that not only has he purified himself, but he is quite competent to deliver others. He is competent to speak on the importance of the transcendental name, just as Thakur Haridas did. He was apparently born in a family of Mohammedans, but because he was chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord offenselessly, Lord Chaitanya empowered him to become the authority or acharya of spreading the name. It did not matter that he was born in a family which was not following the Vedic rules and regulations. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Acharya accepted him as an authority because he was offenselessly chanting the name of the Lord. Authorities like Advaita Prabhu and Lord Chaitanya immediately accepted that he had already performed all kinds of austerities, studied the Vedas, and performed all sacrifices. That is automatically understood. There is a hereditary class of Brahmanas called the Smarta Brahmanas, however, who are of the opinion that even if such persons who are chanting the holy name of the Lord are accepted as purified, they still have to perform the Vedic rites or await their next birth in a family of Brahmanas so that they can perform the Vedic rituals. But actually, this is not the case. Such a man does not need to wait for the next birth to become purified. He is at once purified. It is understood that he has already performed all sorts of rites. It is the so-called Brahmanas who actually have to undergo different kinds of austerities before reaching that point of purification. There are many other Vedic performances which are not described here. All such Vedic rituals have been already performed by the chanters of the holy name. The word juhuvu means that the chanters of the holy name have already performed all kinds of sacrifices. Susnu means that they have already traveled to all the holy places of pilgrimage and taken part in purificatory activities at those places. They are called Arya because they have already finished all these requirements, and therefore they must be among the Aryans, or those who have qualified themselves to become Aryans. Aryan refers to those who are civilized, whose manners are regulated according to the Vedic rituals. Any devotee who is chanting the holy name of the Lord is the best kind of Aryan. Unless one studies the Vedas, one cannot perform Unless one studies the Vedas, one cannot become an Aryan. But it is automatically understood that the chanters have already studied all the Vedic literature. The specific word used here is anuchu, which means that because they have already completed all those recommended acts, they have become qualified to be spiritual masters. The word grananti, which is used in this verse, means to be already established in the perfectional stage of ritualistic performances. If one is seated on the bench of a high court and is giving judgment on cases, it means that he has already passed all legal exams and is better than those who are engaged in the study of law or those expecting to study law in the future. In a similar way, persons who are chanting the holy name are transcendental to those who are factually performing the Vedic rituals and those who expect to be qualified, or in other words, those who are born in families of brahmanas but have not yet undergone the reformatory processes and who therefore expect to study the Vedic rituals and perform the sacrifices in the future. There are many Vedic statements in different places saying that anyone who chants the holy name of the Lord becomes immediately freed from conditional life, and that anyone who hears the holy name of the Lord, even though born of a family of dog eaters, also becomes liberated from the clutches of material entanglement. So I bring up this verse because we have inherited a mood and very clear directives, shastric directives from our Guru Parampara, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who for those who are initiated by Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he becomes the Param Guru. For those who are initiated by devotees of Prabhupada's disciples, he becomes the Param Guru, or as we have in any family, there's grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather, etc. It looks exactly like a family tree, only it's spiritual, it's transcendental. And in every family, of course, people have their family business. There's a way in which there's a mood that gets passed down through each family. Even people have surnames that indicate what their family likely has done in, like Schumacher or something like that, probably comes from people who made shoes. Or I don't know. I haven't traced it out, so no offense to the Schumacher clan, but it is natural for a lineage to pick up the mood of the predecessors. So in the same way, we take through the spiritual parampara, which is our real family, as we consider the Bhagavatam's perspective, the family members that we somehow find ourselves in the midst of when we're born in this world are, as the Bhagavatam says, like meeting other tourists in a hotel. You check into a hotel, you have some tourists next door, some in an adjoining room, some are in the lobby, some are closer, some are farther away. But after all, everyone is incidentally situated there according to their past karmas. And the only connection is that you're passing through at the same time, and you're all going to go on your own merry way after you check out. However, our spiritual lineage is different. It is an indication, actually, of our association in the spiritual world, the group of devotees that we gravitate towards in this lifetime, and the mode of practice that we take up are indicators of our destination. After all, every sadhana has a sadhya, or a goal. And so in the line of that we find ourselves in, that we've gravitated towards, that we're attached to, there are certain moods and methods that we adhere to. And of course, we don't whimsically or sentimentally attach ourselves to these moods and methods, but we verify them through Shastra. And that's why we read the verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam now, one of those moods and methods that we've inherited from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur very distinctly from him, and from Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but the great champion of the cause amidst a great struggle against it was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and that is the clear idea we get from the Srimad Bhagavatam here, which is that anyone, despite their birth in this world, can become qualified to be a Brahmana by becoming a Vaishnava. This is Kiba Vipra Kiba Nasi Shudurkina Noi She Guru Tapaveta She Guru Hoy. Just if somebody becomes learned in the science of Krishna consciousness, and if somebody, according to this verse, Ahobata Shwapachato Gariyan, this is Devahuti speaking, is chanting the holy name of the Lord, oh, this is proof that they've actually undergone all the Vedic ritualistic practices previously, purificatory rites, education from the Vedas. They've done all this in order to come to the position, the exalted position of being able to even once say Hare Krishna, to chant the holy name of the Lord. So those who are, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport here, smarta Brahmanas have this mistaken idea that those who are born outside the Vedic process are not eligible to become Brahmanas or perform ritualistic sacrifices. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta went to war with such people. And he did so based on the power of the Shastra, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. We find Shukadeva Goswami saying, Kirata hunanda pulinda pulkasha abhira shumba yavana kasadaya yene chapapa yadapashraya shraya shudyanti tasmai pravavishnave namaha. It doesn't matter which far-flung country you come from outside of Vedic culture. If you are taking shelter of a Vaishnav, you're getting the power of Lord Vishnu through which you become transformed. And you become eligible, according to this verse today, which overlaps with the one I just quoted, to perform Vedic sacrifices as a Brahmana, because Brahmanism is included in Vaishnavism. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was demonstrative about this teaching, so much so that he reintroduced a practice of giving a sacred thread to those who took initiation, that is Vaishnava initiation. Generally, it was the opposite. People, when they were born, of course, in a Vedic culture, they would, at a certain point, the boys would get a Brahmana thread from their father or a priest, and then they would be a Brahmana because they had the thread. It's not necessarily that they were practicing or even chanting on the thread, but there was this consideration which creeps into every process, a niyamagraha, that just because I'm in the process or because I'm born into it or because I'm going through the motions in some way ritualistically or externally, that I'm actually qualified. And those who would then become Vaishnavas thinking that they were equal to or following the footsteps of the Goswamis, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they would take off their Brahminical thread, and if they were wearing saffron, they would change the saffron into white. The idea, non-designation, Vaishnavism is beyond the designation of being a Brahmin or being a sannyasi even. If you wear saffron cloth in India, everyone understands. So here's a renunciate, somebody in the renounced order of life who's taken the fourth order sannyas. So previous to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's campaign, people would put on white, just like Rupa Goswami, and they give up the Brahmin thread. However, he reversed that. When giving initiation in the Gaudiya Math, he then reinstituted Daivi Varnashrama, which meant that he would give the saffron cloth of the Varnashrama. It's part of Varnashrama. And he would also give the sacred thread, which seems counterintuitive because, okay, if according to today's verse, if you're a Vaishnav, if you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're already a Brahmin. That's exactly why he did it. To demonstrate to the world the purport of this verse, which is that if you're chanting Hare Krishna, yes, you're already a Brahmin. And also, he wanted to demonstrate that, no, we're not equal to Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. We still take shelter of the Varnashrama, the ashrama. We're taking shelter in that place and performing devotional service with our body, mind, and speech in this world, practically executing our duties in devotional service, even as we live in the world. And this disturbed the Smarta class, so much so, as all of you know who have read the biography of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta had his parikramas and he brought pilgrims with him to Vrindavan, many of the shopkeepers and temples closed their doors, so they couldn't buy rice. They couldn't come in many of the temples as a protest against him. He was a revolutionary, bringing this point out to the world. And as Prabhupada mentions in the Nectar of Instruction, there was a long, hard fight, and he came out, did Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, successful in proving this point of the Bhagavatam that was there at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well, as indicated in this purport, that Srila Advaita Acharya, who is Mahavishnu himself, when he performed the Shraddha ceremony, there is a part of this Vedic ritual in which you are to give the Shraddha Patra, the first offering of food, to the most elevated of Brahmanas in your village. And so everyone's waiting to see where will Srila Advaita Acharya give this. I'm over here. I'm qualified. No, I'm qualified. And he brings it to Srila Haridas Thakur, who in much of society is considered in that society where their only vision is external. He's untouchable. He comes from a lowly family outside of not just the Varnashram, but outside Vedic culture altogether. And he gives it, does Advaita Acharya, to Haridas Thakur. Why? Based on this principle that those who are chanting, what to speak of chanting like Haridas Thakur nonstop with no other consideration in life, no other duty, that these are the most elevated of souls who've come to this position after graduating through many, many lifetimes. To be able to chant Hare Krishna. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur fought the righteous fight, both in debates publicly, in his writings, through his publications, and as Srila Prabhupada pointed out, he came out successful. Otherwise, where would the Western Hare Krishna movement be if the untouchables couldn't be purified? If the holy name wasn't more powerful than the gunas represented by those in the Varnashrama? Mamcha yovyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitem brahma bhuya yakalpate. You perform bhakti and you rise above the modes of material nature. It has nothing to do with the Varnashrama, which is external. So where would have Srila Prabhupada gotten the audacity to come to America, Africa, Europe, and boldly proclaim that this is the process for purification, going back to Godhead, and then awarding Americans, of all people, sacred threads. People in India still at that time were outraged, and even some of Prabhupada's godbrothers thought it was a little extreme, so much so that when they met with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada introduce, oh, here's some of my disciples. By the way, they cooked for you. They wouldn't, one of his godbrothers, not right now, I'm not hungry. He later apologized after reconsidering, but it's so strongly ingrained in the culture. If you touch the shadow of an untouchable person, you go take bath. The smart idea of working very hard to purify the environment externally by all the rules and regulations and so forth. It is subsumed by the process of chanting Hare Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddham Nitya Mukto Binatvan Nama Namino. Krishna is the supreme pure. He appears as the avatar in the holy name. And if somebody's chanting that name, how could they not be purified? How could they not come to the perfectional stage? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta is so merciful. He's merciful to us. He stood up for us. That is, I'm talking about myself, the lowest of the low, born in obscurity, in the lowest of cultures. And he's the one who said, go and save them. And that's the second characteristic of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta that we've inherited. The first is the principle I just mentioned, based on the purport and the verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Aho bata shwapa chato gariyan, that how wonderful it is that anyone who chants Hare Krishna, that person is already a Brahmana. They've already graduated. That's the correct perspective. That's the conclusion of the Bhagavatam. That's what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta taught. And what is the second point? He put the teaching, the spreading Krishna consciousness on an extremely elevated level. It is Rag Marg. Here, I'm going to show you a picture of his, of the logo of the Gaudiya Math. And when here you see at the top is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then you see the Bhagavatam and Radha Krishna. On this side, you'll see on the right hand, our right hand side that we're looking at now, you see the Rag Marg. Here's Raga. What's on this side? Notice what's on this side of the logo. Here is the Madanga. And what's next to the Madanga? In the same capsule is the printing press. In case you can't tell what that is a printing press, actually made in Cleveland, Ohio. That's what it looks like. And that's still in the museum in the Bug Bazaar. Same capsule as Radha Krishna worship, Rag Marg, spontaneous devotional service, preaching the Bhagavat, and spreading it through the Brihat Madanga. He brought that principle. Printing press, Madanga. Same, except for the printing press is bigger. It spreads it further. On this side, you see here Vidhi. You have the Vidhi Marg, Lakshmi Narayan, and so forth. So the process and the mood in which we've inherited it from Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada, our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, asked his guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, at Radha Kund, what should I do? Everyone wants to lean in and hear, right? What does he want? What is he going to say? Because that is the rope that pulls us back, pulls anyone, any disciple back home, back to Godhead. When the guru says, this is what I think that you should do. And then you say, okay, that's what I'm going to do. That's the whole process. And so he said, if you ever get money, print books. And Srila Prabhupada said, I took this from his mouth, that he is very fond of books. And did Prabhupada lean into that? Oh, so much. And he emphasized, did our Srila Prabhupada, what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta emphasized. And he used to tell us this. Srila Prabhupada used to say, if an insignificant member of my guru's mutt would go out and sell one rupee magazine, and then he would come back. He said Guru Maharaj would glorify that brahmachari in front of everybody and say, what a wonderful thing he's done to go out and give this to others. And so Rag Marg, in the same capsule as the Madanga, in the same capsule as the printing press. And so we got that from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who out of his infinite compassion wanted everyone to have an opportunity. He pushed for his disciples to go to Britain and also to Burma. He had this desire that it go all over the world. Some Vaishnavas thought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prognostication that it would go to every town and village maybe meant Bengal. How would it go to the rest of India? Maybe it meant all of India, but that sounded also too much. What to speak of America and Britain and all of Russia and China? Again, Kirata Hunanda Pulinda Pulkasha, Abhira Shumba Yavana Kasaraya, Yene Chapapa Yada Pashraya Shaya, Shudyanti Tasmai Pravishnavinama. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta stood behind the Bhagavatam and said, yes, every place and every one of them can become pure Vaishnavas and rise above even the Brahminical platform, which is contained within Vaishnavism by the power that comes through the Vaishnav Parampara, those who are spreading it to the world. And that's our life. That's what we've inherited from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. He was known as Singha Guru, a lion guru. He didn't stand for any nonsense. He in his childhood had inherited a kurma deity from his father. He bequeathed it to him, rather, and this sense of kurma, which is in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, when asked by Arjuna, who is the person who is on the self-realized platform, he says, the one who can draw his senses within, just the way the turtle draws his senses within his shell when he needs to. Even as a child, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was known, Bimal Prasad. Bimal Prasad indicates the internal energy of the Lord. He once took a mango. Just as a little child, he took a mango from the kitchen and he ate it. And his father, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, imagine your father is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And his father said, oh, that was not offered. This is not good. Imagine a child then saying, I will never eat mango again. I'll never eat mango again. Who is this extraordinary personality? That the rest of his life, if anyone offered a mango, he said, I am an offender. I cannot take. When he went into the academy, everyone understood that this is an uncommon genius. They wanted him, the professors, those who were in charge of various departments to stay in and glorify their universities, their departments, but he wouldn't stay. He went off for a life of dedication to spreading the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which began with his chanting of the holy name 1 billion times, sitting austerely in a little hut that had no protection from the rain. He would sit under an umbrella, even as he continued to chant in the rainy season. And he would go on and on and on, barely eating, chanting for years and years and years, nonstop. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he tells about, and you can read about this in Bhaktivikas Swami's biography of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, of how in the culmination of that chanting, he received a spurti of the Panchatattva, who had revealed themselves to him and saying, go out and preach it. teach it to the world, give it to everybody. So we're the recipients of that. So we take our strength from the acharyas in our line. The subtleties that we inherit come down to us through the parampara, that is from person to person. I was thinking yesterday about things I saw and heard and people I met just as Srila Prabhupada was on the planet, and even just after he left. There was lots of interactions with various personalities, and unless unless you actually were there and saw it unfold, there are subtleties you may miss. And those subtleties are what get passed down from one generation to the next about the mood and method of the acharyas. And how else will we align ourselves in devotional service except through that personal method of learning through the tradition? So it's a living tradition that gets passed down. And what's living about it is what we find from the people, the persons who have imbibed the moods and methods that have been passed down. And it is in imbibing those subtleties of the moods and methods and putting them into practice ourselves that we're able to align ourselves with the disciplic succession and to make progress in devotional life. Today, I've mentioned the two very prominent moods and methods of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta that we've inherited from Srila Prabhupada and from Srila Prabhupada's followers who imbibed it from him. And obviously we can read about it in the Shastras, but it's ingrained in our culture. It should be ingrained in our culture. We have to make sure we don't drift in one direction or another. And that's the work of those who are in the tradition, in the parampara, is to study the science and study the moods of the previous acharyas and to understand from one's Guru Varga, the association of those who are under whom we've taken shelter, our Diksha and Shiksha Gurus, to understand what is the mood and method of our parampara. And by following that carefully, aligning ourselves with the proper etiquette and the practices, then we're aligned and we make advancement in devotional service. It's as if Prabhupada said, you're receiving an electrical current that's coming down through a copper wire. And if you see two wires and you're not sure which one is hot means the electricity is going through, then just touch it and find out and see which one lights you up. And then you'll know for yourself which one it is. So once Sikh Krishna Maharaj, the temple president of Govardhan, ISKCON Govardhan, Bhaktisiddhanta Ashram. Some of you have been there. He's a very saintly devotee who at a very young age came to Krishna consciousness and ended up staying for the last 30 years in developing that project at Govardhan. And once when he was at Radhakund and somebody was challenging him, saying that, oh, you're in the line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, he changed this thing. How is it that Westerners are becoming so-called brahmanas and things like this, challenging with the smarta point of view? It's not that it's gone away. It's still there. People still have these ideas. And one of the things, as the crowd developed to see who will win this debate, then Sikh Krishna Maharaj said, where are the lights on? You can tell where the current is coming through, where the lights are on. The followers of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, like A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and those who follow in his footsteps, there are others as well, great souls like Srila Prabhupada's godbrother, Srila Rakshak, Sridhar Maharaj, Bhakti Rakshak, Sridhar Maharaj, also same message coming down from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And where are the lights on? That is, where are other people becoming electrified and turned on and chanting Hare Krishna and changing their lives and giving up all bad habits, incidentally, something that Prabhupada brought up again and again. How is it that these Westerners are just walking away? Tyakva turnam ashesha mandalapati. They just like, okay, it's insignificant. We don't need it anymore. We're going to join Lord Chaitanya. Where does that come from? It comes from the electricity that comes through the bona fide disciplic succession. And with that simple statement, everyone in the crowd went on Sri Krishna's Maharaj's side and said, yes, this is the proof of the efficacy is where the lights are on. So the lights are on in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's line, and he brought that teaching to the world. He turned those lights on, and we're recipients coming through of that electricity coming through A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada. And I just want to read you some samples of the way Srila Prabhupada felt about his guru. This is from earlier on, to give a perspective from this Viraha Ashtaka. And it was composed by Srila Prabhupada in 1958 on the occasion of the disappearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. There's a short introduction which I'll read to you. But maybe I'll take a short break first. Does anybody have any comments they'd like to make?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up so many gems about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's teachings and pastimes. I just had one realization because you were mentioning about the opposition from Smarta community against Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's teachings and his preaching method. So same thing goes with the traditional Bengali Vaishnava community. One time we were having a kirtan, Sankirtan in Mountain View, if you can recall that we had one session in Mountain View. That time a very senior citizen person, he came to me. He was a Bengali and he was initiated in traditional Vaishnava lineage. I think he was initiated in that Jat Gosai type of, sampradaya. So he told that, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a Pakka Vaishnava, and he followed the traditional Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, like you get those Manjari Bhav, those things. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he deviated from the path and he introduced new methods which are not, proper or traditional. So I did not feel to discuss with him because he's a very senior person, and I did not have that knowledge also that I can counter argue his propositions. But I felt that kind of sentiment is still there in the larger Vaishnava community in Bengal, and they feel that he is not following the proper tradition which is given by the 6 Goswamis. In contradiction, we see that our acharyas, they say that he is the only one who is following properly, and the other people have deviated much from the original teachings.
Yeah, so Prabhupada acknowledges those who come from family lineages. He said if they're qualified. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wasn't claiming exclusivity based on a particular line. But what he did say was that you have to be qualified. So this is where there's a split, because oftentimes people who, and I'm not just talking about in the Gaudiya tradition, who come in the family of a particular religious process, they assume that, yes, now I'm the inheritor and I'm the torchbearer for this particular organization, whether they're following or not. And this is one of the points that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta made, and it comes up in yet another point that he made very strongly. Yes, through one of the branches of our Gaudiya Sampradaya under Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Guru Gopal line, there was some sense of there are some writings about receiving the so-called Siddha Pranali, that at the time of initiation, a guru would give the 11 qualities that you have in the spiritual world, and you're to meditate on these in your relationship with with the Lord. So there was a point of contention there in modern day practicing, that some people still carry that on. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta also so-called changed that. He didn't change anything, but he made this very important point that you have to be qualified in order to understand your position. And he followed in the footsteps of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and other acharyas who made very salient points and resolved ongoing disputes. One of them was about the process of coming to of becoming siddha, of receiving a complete perfection. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta enumerates this based on the Shastra, that it begins with hearing. You have to hear from a bona fide spiritual master and engage in the practice of devotional service, even beginning with Vidhi Bhakti, even before you have a taste. And as you continue, you'll gradually gain taste. Your consciousness will become purified. And as you meditate on Trinada Pisunichena Toror Apisahishnuna, that I'm not qualified, and that I'm simply coming with my head bowed down and accepting whatever mercy comes down to me, then gradually you can come to know, obviously, as Rupa Goswami says, Tanama Rupa Charitari Sukirtananu Smrityo Karmena Rasana Manasi Niyoja Tishtam Vraje Tanaduragi Chananagami Kalam Nayeda Kilam Ityupadesha Saram. That this is the process. By the devotional service, obviously you'll come to your perfection, but it's not a cheap thing. It's not just handed from one person to the next. Before they're qualified, you have to go through the process. So what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta did was he brought this point about how one becomes qualified to take to achieve perfection in spiritual life, and that it's not something that you can just walk in and buy, like from a dime store or something like that. So it's not at odds at all with Bhaktivinoda Thakur's teachings, in which he points out that those, in fact, there's a famous verse in which he says, those who claim this kind of perfection in knowing their spiritual identity before they've gone through the process are simply an illusion. Illusion in the sense it's a mental construct. It's not actual. So examining carefully, we can see that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta actually did imbibe the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and passed it on. It is interesting, however, that in every line, even coming from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we have Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's brother, who, taught something slightly different. And, some devotees in ISKCON used to go hear Lalit Prasad Thakur because he was a far out Vaishnav. He had all the all the bhajans, and he was a venerable Vaishnav, and they would go there and listen to them. And this is what I said about mood and method earlier. It's very refined, picking up what is the mood and method. It's not that we go here, there, and everywhere, but we tune in to what is the mood and method coming down through our acharyas. So some of these devotees went there, they learned all kinds of tunes, they heard things from Lalit Prasad Thakur, and I saw the letter that Prabhupada wrote to one of my godbrothers, who was one of the ones who was going there. He had the original letter, not on the Vedabase. He has it in his file. And Srila Prabhupada wrote very respectfully about Srila Lalita Prasad Thakur. He said, he is a pure devotee in his own right. However, because he differs and as from my Guru Maharaj, and has gone against his will and teachings. I'm paraphrasing some of it. He said that don't go there and listen. Remember, the preamble is he's a pure devotee in his own right. However, don't go there and don't listen, because you'll become confused, because different mood, different method, taking away from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Again, you can also see one of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's tests. You read in the last paragraph of the fifth verse of the Upadeshamrita. Prabhupada writes, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's test of who is a Vaishnav and what is bona fide is how many other people are they turning into Vaishnavas. This is one of the ways that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami says, how will you know you have a touchstone until you touch something and it turns to gold? So, we see through the line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta again, and through Prabhupada taking his mood and method, who's becoming Vaishnavas, who's sitting in front of Tulsi and chanting, who's reading Bhagavatam and passing it out to the world, and so forth. Those who are following Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's process. Every acharya, very interestingly, takes the exact teaching of the guru, but then represents it in such a way that it's applicable to the modern audience. And people can say, well, our Srila Prabhupada changed Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's teachings, who, he's like, okay, chant 16 rounds. And Prabhupada says this in the Upadeshamrita. He said, my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, said, if you're not chanting 64 rounds a day, then you're considered fallen. So Prabhupada then says, well, what can I do? The Westerners can't chant 64 rounds a day. They're too busy. So he said, chant 16 rounds and stay busy preaching Krishna consciousness. And hopefully Srila Bhaktisiddhanta will accept this. So will Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahat Kritena, we have to take shelter of the Mahats, those who are obviously are self-effulgent and empowered in carrying forward the mood and method of the previous acharyas. Thanks for bringing that up, Kuldip Prana. It's a perennial issue, and therefore, that's why it's important to read Srila Prabhupada's books, to study our sampradaya, to understand the moods and methods very clearly, to discuss these things, so that not only do we present it to other people, but so that we ourselves are edified and understand what it means to be in a sampradaya and who's actually, where the juice is coming from. Yes, Srivas Prabhu.
Vaisesika Prabhu, Dandavad Jai Srila Prabhupada. Just one point was, if you can shed a little more light on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur taking sannyas, and what were the events preceding it. Obviously, it was a little unusual. So if you can just shed a little more light. And
well, it was part of his establishing, as I said before, the Varnashrama idea, and showing how it's subservient to the to Vaishnavism. It's actually not a huge deal, accepting sannyas. It's in the Varnashramas. It's compared to chanting Hare Krishna, as we heard from the verse just now. And there was, at the time, and time, place, and circumstances, there was no qualified person to give him the sannyas, so he just took it in front of a picture of his spiritual master. That doesn't, that doesn't nullify the disciplic succession. There are some that say, okay, well, that means this or that. It doesn't mean this or that. I mean, it's not a repudiation of anything of the Guru Parampara system. It was an adjustment that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta made according to time, place, and circumstance for a very superficial thing, to make a point. just like putting on Brahmin's threads and so forth.
Thank you, Vaisesika Prabhu. And personalities like these are guided by Paramatma from within. So we cannot, hold their standards or their activities to what we do. And thank you for the nice.
Well, I've never seen anybody successfully do that in modern time. I mean, I have seen a few people go off on their own and take, their own sannyas or whatever, not from somebody they just put on, and they're never successful. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was very successful because he was aligned in every way. And as you say, he was an acharya. But if somebody becomes an upstart and thinks like, oh, I'm like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, good luck. He was, he knew the whole Bhagavad Gita at 7 years old. He was a lifelong brahmachari. He had an organization when he was in college. It was called the August Assembly. And they would come there to discuss philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And so what was the qualification for being in that club? Does anybody know? You had to make a vow that you'd never marry. You'd be a lifelong brahmachari. That was him in his college days. So, if you think you can imitate such a personality and do this or that, and you're an upstart. Self-effulgent acharyas, in order to present the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, make minor adjustments here and there according to their vision in order to expand it to the rest of the world. And so one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's mandates was from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which was to institutionalize Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Bhaktivinoda Thakur came up with the original Amway and marketing process for Krishna consciousness. And it was a unique way in which, the marketplace for the holy name is open. And he gave that mandate to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Now you take this and you make it work all over the world. So how do you do that? The way Srila Bhaktisiddhanta did. He looked at what other institutions were doing, including what was that other wild institution in India with all the sannyasis?
It's a Gaudiya Math?
No. Outside of Vaishnavism, they were Mayavadis, but they were very successful. Huh? Ramakrishna Mission, yeah. Ramakrishna Mission. He mentioned, look at some of the technology they used for their structure. How did they put it together? But just put in, use some of the structural elements, but then use the real philosophy, not Mayavad. Spread it all over the world. He was very practical. In fact, at Radhakund, there was this idea that, in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, there was all these, in the Smarta line and even Radhakund, all these ideas of what you could and couldn't do, what you couldn't touch. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta sent his preachers there when he got his mission going, riding in an expensive automobile. At that time, sannyasis were not to ever wear shoes. You go everywhere barefoot, and you don't wear sewn cloth. Who did he send to Radhakund? He came there. They had patent leather shoes on. They had suits. They had Western attire. And he came there to show that the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not meant to be restricted by some external considerations. Even Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if you go to his house, he had an indoor plumbing, an indoor toilet. Mm-hmm. That was considered unconscionable at the time, but he did it demonstratively to say, no, and Prabhupada carried this forward. You say the blind man and the lame man, you bring them together and they can walk together, And so, anasaktasya vishayan yatarhamu purinjita nirbandha krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyamuchite. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta epitomized this, following the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that have mercy on the world, adapt it to the ways in which it can be spread everywhere. And Srila Prabhupada did that too, by bringing it to the Western countries and introducing it to young people, starting with just chant Hare Krishna. And later on, after they took initiation, okay, now also follow these 4 regulative principles.
Vaisesika Prabhu, thank you so much. That was so beautiful. And just to add, we celebrate and we're in awe of Srila Prabhupada's coming to West and distributing Krishna consciousness. But behind that is the inspiration or the potency of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's order that made it possible. So just the potency coming in from Parampara, just to add to his greatness.
Yes, thank you, Srivas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Gojruma Prana.
Maharaj, if I may share a realization that I was thinking about the pastime of Advaita Acharya giving the Shraddha Patra to Haridas Thakur. And I was thinking just like the darkness of the night really highlights the beauty of the moon. The backdrop of the Smarta Brahman in some way really beautifies the whole broad-mindedness of the Gaudiya tradition, and it draws a big contrast and makes a big impact. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, it's, the teachings are revealed within the struggle to present them. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta notably said, and we've said it many times, that you get chid rakta for your chid sharira when you go out and you do the battle. And what is the battle of the parampara? It's, first of all, you figure out what it is for yourself, and then you go out and teach it to others, and they will challenge you. They will say, that, that's not right. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta didn't follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or then people from other cultures will say, you're going to hell because actually you didn't accept a particular savior, you went to the wrong church. All these ways in which we go out and mix it up with people edify us, as we have to then say, yeah, why am I doing this? And what are they doing? And where are the commonalities? And where are the significant differences that actually make a difference? What is the essence of the religious process? And when we become essence seekers by ourselves trying to teach it to people from all different backgrounds. And after all, as they say, that's why they play the games. You never know who's going to win until you go out there and play on the field. Somebody can be favored by 50 points and then they lose. We have to actually go out and we have to have the will to assert our will. And in the process of doing that, we affect people. And, it's actually when we see people who are affected by what we're teaching, and then we hear it back from them, and they say, oh yeah, this, I've realized this and it makes sense. It's not sentimental. There's a pattern we can see after preaching Krishna consciousness about how when people come purified by chanting and taking prasadam, they give up their material habits and they're able to come to higher ground. We realize the efficacy of the process. And yes, in Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's battle, there was a case in which on the pilgrimage, some smartas hired gundas to try to kill him. They were armed with huge rocks up on top of the buildings. And when the pilgrims came, they started showering down rocks, trying to kill him. And one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's disciples changed dress with him and sent him into hiding and went off risking his life to save his guru. And yes, this backdrop of the great acharyas when they're teaching the process, which is what acharyas do. They go to battle for Krishna and they go to establish what is the actual teaching. Then in that backdrop, they become revealed as great souls, the way they affect others. So let's give it a little taste of, let's get a little taste of Srila Prabhupada's writings in 1958. So actually he was initiated as a Baha'i Charanara. And he sent this to one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's papers, which was called the Gaudiya Prakash. The Gaudiya Math would distribute to the public. It's called the Viraha Ashtaka. I can't read the whole thing because it's very long and we're running out of time, but I'll read part of it so you get a taste of it. It's written in Bengali and translated. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this anniversary of your separation, I'm utterly despondent. The ocean of mercy was previously held back by a dam, but Lord Nityananda personally cut a channel in it and thereby released the outpouring flood of pure ecstatic love of God. Those devotees to whom the responsibility was given to continue spreading this flood of love somehow became overpowered by Maya and were thus reduced to simply performing ritualistic Hindu ceremonies for the benefit of materialists. Lord Nityananda's inundation of prema was thus completely stopped by those known as Jati Gosai, caste Goswamis. But then you personally came, O Master, to open wide the floodgates once again. Again, you engulfed everyone in the deluge of pure divine love, even such a low, wretched, fallen, and sinful soul as myself. On the strength of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's command, you sent out all your servants as spiritual masters, going from door to door just to deliver fallen souls. The devotees were enthusiastically preaching everywhere, from the oceans to Himalaya mountains. But now that you have gone from our midst, everything today has become very dark. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I'm utterly despondent. Second octet. The merciful flood has been stopped. Just as Advaita Prabhu had prayed fervently and thus induced Sri Gauranga to descend, so did your father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, pray for you to incarnate. Due to Bhaktivinoda's eagerness, O Master, you came and proclaimed to everyone that India is the most holy land of the Lord's divine pastimes. One who has taken his birth in this land of Bharat Bhumi, India, should first make his own life successful and then work for the benefit of all other people. This is the most significant message of Lord Chaitanya that you boldly preached everywhere. But now in your absence, O Master, everything has fallen into darkness. The overflowing ocean of your compassion has once again been dammed up. This makes me feel as if a spear of great misery has indeed pierced my heart. Without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message being spread, there is only confusion and upheaval in the movement. Seeing this situation, all the Vaishnavas are also feeling overwhelmed with the pangs of your separation. The spirit souls have once again been captured by Maya and plunged into absolute darkness. Desperately searching for relief, they are simply perishing in a fathomless ocean of anxiety. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I'm utterly despondent. Third octet. Practical chanting and preaching. You instructed everyone you met to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. You showed the example by continually reciting that Mahamantra into their ears. You empowered everyone with the qualification to further distribute that holy name. But now, by the influence of Maya, there's only darkness on all sides. The souls who are truly attached to worshiping the Lord always sing and dance in joyful Sankirtan, following in the footsteps of their spiritual master. They deliver the whole world. But those who have no such qualification perform nirjan bhajan, or so-called confidential worship in a solitary place. Thus, acting whimsically, all of them actually remain absorbed in personal sense gratification. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, an ordinary soul should never imitate the activities of the Supreme Lord, even in his mind. According to these instructions in devotional service, the unqualified imitators are all ruined. You preached, utility is the principle. That is, one should act without attachment and use anything that is deemed appropriate in the devotional service of the Lord. In such detached devotional service to Lord Krishna, there would be a temple established in every house. But now just the opposite situation is apparent everywhere. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I am utterly despondent. Fourth octet, the essential purport neglected. Everything regarding material prosperity as well as mystic perfection is fully presented in your transcendental message. Quote, because the residents of Vraja have life, therefore they engage in preaching work. Vraj Vasira Pran Ache She Hetu Prachar. Those who have life, they can preach. Those in Vraj have life, they can preach. Preaching means life. The resolute intelligence, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary in Bhagavad Gita 241, is now spoiled since your disciples have become ensnared in the bewildering noose of Maya. Those disciples who are irresolute in performing devotional service according to your instructions have divided your mission into many factions. It appears that the tigress of ambition for material name and fame has appeared and personally provoked this upheaval. The essential purport of your message obviously did not enter their ears. Oh, where will I get the strength to perform this Harinam Sankirtan? To chant the holy name of the Lord is the explicit command of my worshipful spiritual master. I could never honestly neglect that order. Your greatest acclaim is that you propagated the topmost religious culture. Anyone who accepts the holy name from you becomes spiritually qualified. If all those who have attained this qualification were to go out and make disciples, then the miserable conditioned souls would all be delivered from the world of birth and death. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffered to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I'm utterly despondent. Fifth octet. The disciples' empowerment is lost. The greatest mantra of all, consisting of 32 letters, is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. People who are possessed by gross foolishness refuse to chant it. Your so-called disciple, the jackal named Ananta Vasudeva, disobeyed your final instructions to keep the mission united and thereby created a scandalous fiasco. The result of this philosophical deviation is evident to this day as imitative sahajas are being worshipped as gurus in your temples. Is there a single temple to be found where your instructions are still being followed? As it is said, Punar Mushtiko Bhava, everyone has again become a mouse. The lion's food has been stolen away by the deceptive tricks of the jackal. Now caught in Maya's mighty clutches, everyone is reduced to wailing and weeping. O Master, if you are merciful to us once again, then even though we are trapped here on the shore of the ocean of death, we will finally behold a change for the better. Then once again, we can blissfully remember the holy name of Krishna, and once again, we will have firm faith in your Vaikuntha messages. Once again, you will make us dance in the pure holy name of Krishna. Thus, you will personally dispel all this confusion caused by Maya. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I'm utterly despondent. Sixth Ashtaka. The preaching mission is scattered. Continue dancing, singing, and performing Sankirtan in the association of devotees. These words spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are especially nectarian. If we have complete faith in these instructions given by you, our spiritual master, then in the performance of Sankirtan, actual love for Krishna will be aroused in us. Without love of God, our tiny individual intelligence only becomes entangled in the network of Maya's delusions, because no one actually attained prema. Now there has been great upheaval in your mission. The whole world has become filled up with impersonalists, and the Vaishnavas have given up the work of preaching that was entrusted unto them and have simply gone off to perform solitary worship. The Vaishnavas were famous as Patita Pavana, deliverers of the fallen, but now this title has fallen into disgrace. Countless numbers of your disciples have been forced to leave your movement. At such an inauspicious time, O Master, what can be done to repair the damage that is done? The beautiful garden that you had so carefully planted is now parched and withered away. O Master, please awaken some good intelligence in this insignificant disciple of yours, so that my firm faith in your transcendental message may increase more and more. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffered to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I'm utterly despondent. We're actually going to finish it, so I lied about that. Seventh octet, distributing the pure devotional process. I notice you're leaning in. The most magnanimous incarnation of the Lord was Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Distributing the process of attaining love of God by chanting the holy name of Krishna, he thus blessed the entire universe. O Master, you are the personification of the transcendental message of Lord Chaitanya. You are the distributor of that message to every town and village of the world. You sent your devotees to preach in the faraway lands of the Western countries, and you personally traveled all over India, even to the south. You preached the pure philosophy of Lord Gauranga in such a way that intelligent persons could understand, and you showed such great concern, O Master, in convincing all your adversaries. Lord Gauranga used many tricks just to engage the conditioned souls in devotional service, and you have also understood how to use all those tricks perfectly well. You understood time, place, and circumstance, and utilized everything as a strategy for preaching. Although observing your activities with their very eyes, those who are blind like owls and other creatures of the night could not see your true purpose. What will the owls and the sahajas and the other nonsense groups ever understand? And what will the sheep-like common people or the dry logicians ever understand? O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls. On this day of your separation, I am utterly despondent. The eighth octet. If only you would come again. Lord Chaitanya's method of devotional service is not performed in solitude. You preached this again and again to your own devotees. Just as the Lord delivered Jagai and Madai out of his own causeless mercy, you explained to everyone that this same method of preaching work has to go on. The world has now filled up with Jagais and Madais to deliver. Everyone is anxiously looking down the road, waiting for Chaitanya Nitai to come to their rescue. If at such a time as this, you were to personally return to this world and once more preach about all these things the way you used to, if there were enthusiastic preaching activities again taking place in every direction, then all the people, as before, would be stirred up in this blissful excitement. Your profound shouting would cause the demons and atheists to flee, and your narrations of Lord Chaitanya's message would fill the hearts of the innocent souls. Again, the whole world would be excitedly bustling with good tidings. But as it is, in your absence now, there is nothing of value anywhere. O Srila Prabhupada, you personally suffer to see the suffering of the fallen conditioned souls on this day of your separation. I am utterly despondent. O Master, my heart is broken in your absence. This disciple named Abhay has hereby revealed only a small token of his wretched agony of separation. So we get this feeling of the zeitgeist when he wrote that, and the mood of the disciple who is successful in the process of devotional service, which is tuned into the mood and method of the Guru. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, one of the moods that we've inherited, to speak of the method from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta in our line, is the mood of preaching. Going out everywhere and arranging constantly to preach. I showed you on the logo, it's in the same capsule as the Rag Marg. It's spontaneous devotional service. Going into a solitary place to show one's acumen for chanting is not the mood of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He obviously wanted everyone to chant Hare Krishna nonstop, but he didn't want us to go away into solitude. He wanted a movement in which we're dynamic, where we used everything in the service of the Lord, the Yukta Vairagya, just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada mentions here, used tricks, changing to sannyas. Why did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take sannyas? He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It was a trick. He wanted to get everyone to come over and say, oh, I offer my obeisances to you, because he knew then they would take to the process of Krishna consciousness. And so this is the mood of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, very obviously. And to the degree that we can take that up from our founder Acharya and continue the preaching work, to that degree, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta smiles upon us. And it's not that we're not recipients of his mercy. The mystery of the parampara is that we get, although it seems indirect, we're the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Prabhupada says in this Bhagavad Gita purport in the 18th chapter, he said that that's the mystery. It's paradoxical that you get direct mercy through the indirect process. What to speak of the fact that Prabhupada said that the grandfather is more merciful than the parent? What to speak of the great-great-grandfather who sees the offspring coming from many generations down, how much he will pour down his mercy to those. So our only process for advancement really is acharyopasanam. We want to please our acharyas. This rule, that rule, whatever it is, we triangulate and figure out what was the mood and method of our great acharyas. And if we live to please our acharyas, if we live to please Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then our hearts will be filled up with enthusiasm and we'll become successful by his glance. As mentioned in Bhagavatam, Mahatkritena, the process of following the great souls is the only method of success in the process of pure devotional service. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So now we're going to take a 2-minute break in order to set up the altar for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then we'll have Pushpanjali, followed by a Guru Puja for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. So just give us a couple of minutes to set up and we'll be back at your service. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Transcendental Book Distribution Rag Marg ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Now we'll sing the song for the departed Vaishnavas. As we find in the dialogue between Srila Ramananda Roy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "What is the greatest suffering in this world?" And Srila Ramananda Roy said, "I know of no other suffering in this world except for separation from the Vaishnava." And we hear it in the tenor of this song. However, he reasons ill who tells that Vaishnavas die, for Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. So we celebrate the disappearance because the great Acharya is entering into the Nitya Lila, or going on to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. So this song, Jaya Nilo Premadana. Jaya Nilo Premadana Karuna Prachu Karuna Prachu Heno Prabhu Kota Gela Charya Thakur Amora Swarupa Tasunata Kadasra Gunata Patita Prabha Kadasra Gunata Patita Prabha Kahamora Bhatta Juga Kabira Ekakale Gota Kela Goranatara Ashane Kutibo Mata Nale Pashibo Gauranga Gunera Nile Kota Gele Pavo Sheshab Shangira Shange Jai Koilo Bila Shangana Paya Kande Narotamoda Sheshangana Paya Kande Narotamoda Jaya Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Tirobhav Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai. Sri Guru Charan. Let's read the translation first, though. Akaladut Prana Prabhu can read it.
Thank you, Maharaj. Translation: He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivas Acharya gone? Where are my Sarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottama Das simply weeps.
Gaur Premanande Haribo. So now we'll have Pushpanjali. So you can put up the extended, the normal extended Mangalacharana, if you can find such a thing. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunnidatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Actually, you don't have to put it up. You can leave it on gallery, because that way everyone can see Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam
Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam
Dati Swapadantikam
Dadati Swapadantikam
Vandeham
Vandeham
Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam
Shriyuta Padakamanam
Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha
Vaishnavamscha
Shri Rupam Sagrajatam
Shri Rupam Sagrajatam
Sahagana Raghunatha Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam
Sahagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam
Sadvaitam Sadvadutam
Sadvaitam Savadhutam
Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam
Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva
Sri Radha Krishna Pada
Sri Radha Krishna Pada
Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha
Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Swaminiti Namine
Swaminiti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi
Namaste Saraswati Devi
Gauravani Prasharine
Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi
Paschatya Deshatarine
Paschatya Deshatarine
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta
Saraswati Namine
Saraswati Namine
Shri Varshabhana Videvi
Shri Varshabhana Videvi
Daitaya Kripabdaye
Daitaya Kripabdaye
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana
Daine Prabhave Namaha
Daine Prabhave Namaha
Madhuryojvala Premadya
Madhuryojvala Premadya
Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita
Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita
Gaura Karuna Shakti
Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti
Vigrahaya Namostute
Vigrahaya Namostute
Namaste Gauravani
Namaste Gauravani
Sri Murtai Dinatarine
Shri Murte Dinatarine
Rupanuga Viruddhapa
Rupanuga Viruddhapa
Bhaktisiddhanta Dvanta Harine
Bhaktisiddhanta Dvanta Harine
Namo Gaura Kishodaya
Gaura Kishoraya
Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye
Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye
Vipralambara Sambodhe
Vipralambara Sambodhe
Padam Pujayate Namaha
Pujayate Namaha
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya
Sachidananda Namine
Sachidananda Namine
Gaura Shakti Swarupaya
Gaura Shakti Swarupaya
Rupanugavarayate
Rupanugavarayate
Gaura Virvava Bhomestvam
Gaura Virvava Bhumistvam
Nirdesta Sajjana Priya
Nirshta Sajjana Priya
Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri
Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri
Jagannathayate Namaha
Jagannathayate Namaha
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha
Kripasindubhya Eva Cha
Kripasindubhya Eva Cha
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Namo Mahavaranyaya
Namo Mahavaranyaya
Krishna Prema Pradayate
Krishna Prema Pradayate
Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya
Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya
Namne Gauratvishe Namaha
Namne Gauratvishe Namaha
Panchatattvatmakam Krishna
Panchatattvatmakam Krishna
Bhaktarupa Swarupakam
Bhaktarupa Swarupakam
Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam
Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam
Namami Bhakta Shaktikam
Namami Bhakta Shaktikam
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu
Dinabandho Jagatpate
Dinabandho Jagatpate
Gopesha Gopika Kanta
Gopesha Gopika Kanta
Radha Kanta Namostute
Radha Kanta Namostute
Jayatam Surato Pango
Jayatam Surato Pango
Mama Mandamatirgati
Mama Mandamatirgati
Matsarvasva Padam Bojo
Sarvasva Padam Bhojo
Radha Madana Mohana
Radha Madana Mohana
Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumada
Divya Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumada
Srimad Ratnangara Singhasanasta
Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastha
Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Deva
Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Deva
Krishnalipi Sevyamano Smarami
Krishnalipi Sevyamano Smarami
Srimad Rasarasaram Pi
Srimad Rasarasaram
Vam Shiva Tatatastita
Vam Shiva Tatatastita
Harshan Venu Swaner Gopir
Harshan Venu Swaner Gopir
Gopinatha Shri Stunaha
Gopinatha Shri Stunaha
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi
Radhe Vrindavaneshware
Radhe Vrindavaneshwari
Vrishabhanu Sute Devi
Vrishabhanu Sute Devi
Pranamami Hari Priye
Pranamami Hari Priye
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya
Namo Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale
Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta
Saraswati Namine
Saraswati Namine
Shri Varshabhana Videvi
Varshabhana Videvi
Daitaya Kripabdaye
Daitaya Kripabdaye
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana
Daine Prabhave Namaha
Daine Prabhave Namaha
Madhuryo Jvala Premadya
Madhuryo Jvala Premadya
Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida
Rupanuga Bhaktida
Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti
Gaura Karuna Shakti
Vigrahaya Namostute
Vigrahaya Namostute
Namaste Gauravani
Namaste Gauravani
Shri Murtai Dinatarine
Shri Murtaye Dinatarine
Rupanuga Viruddhapa
Rupanuga Viruddhapa
Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine
Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine
Esha Pushpanjali Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur
Jai
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya
Om Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale
Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta
Saraswati Namine
Saraswati Namine
Shri Varshabhana Videvi
Shri Varshabhana Videvi
Daitaya Kripabdaye
Daitaya Kripabdaye
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana
Daine Prabhave Namaha
Daine Prabhave Namaha
Madhuryo Jvala Premadya
Madhuryo Jvala Premadya
Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida
Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida
Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti
Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti
Vigrahaya Namostute
Vigrahaya Namostute
Namaste Gauravani
Namaste Gauravani
Shri Murtai Dinatarine
Shri Murtaye Dinatarine
Rupanuga Viruddhapa
Rupanuga Viruddhapa
Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine
Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine
Esha Pushpanjali
Jai.
Jai.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya.
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale.
Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale.
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta.
Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta.
Saraswati Namine.
Saraswati Namine.
Shri Varshabhana Videvi.
Shri Varshabhana Videvi.
Daitaya Kripaptaye.
Daitaya Kripaptaye.
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana.
Krishna Sambandha Vijnana.
Daine Prabhave Namaha.
Daine Prabhave Namaha.
Madhuryojvala Premadya.
Madhuryojvala Premadya.
Shri Bhaktida.
Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida.
Gaura Karuna Shakti.
Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti.
Vigrahaya Namostute.
Vigrahaya Namostute.
Namaste Gauravani.
Namaste Gauravani.
Shri Murtaye Dinatarine.
Shri Murtaye Dinatarine.
Rupanuga Viruddhapa.
Rupanuga Viruddhapa.
Siddhanta Tvanta Harine.
Abhasiddhanta Dvanta Harine.
Desha Pushpanjali. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj.
Jai.
Jai.
Samsara Dava Hadalita Loka Chandaya Karunya Gada Gada Tvam
Samsara Dava Hadalita Loka Chandaya Karunya Gada Gada Tvam
Praptasya Kalyana Narnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Praptasya Kalyana Gurnarnavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Varitramadyan Manasora Sena
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Varitramadyan Manasora Sena
Romanchakampa Shuttaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Romanchakampa Shuttaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam
Shri Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Shingaratanam Viramarjana Dao Yuktasya Bhaktam Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Yuktasya Bhaktam Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam 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 Chaturditha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadana Triptan Hadi Bhakta Sangam Chaturditha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadana Triptan Hadi Bhakta Sangam Kritvavat Trikting Dadatak Sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Kritvaiva Kritim Bhajata Sadeva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam 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 Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanamna Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupanamna Pratikshana Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Pratikshana Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam 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 Nikunjayuno Ratikeli Siddhai Yaya Lipi Yukira Pikshaniya Ratikeli Siddhai Yaya Lipi Yukira Pikshaniya Tatrati Dakshat Ativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Tatrati Vallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Thakur ki jai. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Sakshadaritvinastamastra shastra Ruktastata bhaktaiva sadi.
Samasta shastra Ruktastata bhaktaiva sadi.
Kintu prabhorya priyaiva tasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Kintu prabhorya priyaiva tasya
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Charanarvindam.
Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Yasya prasadam nagati kutopi.
Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi.
Jayanstuvam tasya yashastri sandyam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Jayanstuvam stasya yashastri sanyam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Tai Gaur Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Nityananda,
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Krishna Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Stishi Shimara Bhai Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stotra Stishi Shimara Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Ki. Anantakoti Vaishnavinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokubina Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Mayapur Navdeep Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki. Chamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki. Sam Veda Bhaktivinoda Ki. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Tirobhav Maha Mahotsav Ki. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Maharaj Tirobhav Maha Mahotsav Ki. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maha Mahotsav Tirobhav Ki. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanandi Haribo. And now for the pleasure of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we'll have a few announcements, community announcements about the Sankirtan movement.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances on Vishnu Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, this is the last weekend before our offering. Actually, there will be one more day. That is the Saturday before our offering. But for our global campaign, this will be our last weekend. And we are inching towards our goal, Prabhu, towards our goal of 50,000 Bhagavad Gitas. And devotees had very successful weekend and a week last week. And they have been going and distributing like literally thousands of books every day. So we will continue. And I don't know if Kautakarna Prabhu or Krishna Prabhu, would you like to share anything quickly? I don't know if they're on.
They're already out distributing.
Oh, Prabhu's here.
There they are. They're always on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Let's get for humble obeisances always to share. Guru Maharaj, so devotees have been going out. We have 4 or 5 teams going to different Walmarts, and we have been able to consistently do 100 sets in every Walmart. Yesterday, Pranav Prabhu and Krishna Prabhu went to Stockton and they did 340 Trimurti sets there. So, a lot of people are looking for it. We met a lot of nice people who said that I was really looking for it and it is destiny that I am getting these books. So one of the incident is that one lady, she works for Tesla. She said that it was bound to happen that I would get these books. So she was really happy. Another person who's a martial arts teacher, he took 16 sets to give to his clients, and he was a vegan. Those are some of the things that I can share.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. And also, kids actually had a daily calling party, not just on Saturday during their break, and they had great success in calling. They started calling jewelers. They started calling some Indian grocery stores or the restaurants. And Kameshwari, would you like to report what was the last week's score? If you're on. Ananda Mataji herself did more than 20 cases of Bhagavad Gita Prabhu during the daily calling party, along with Abhay as well.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Kameshwari, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
So, yes, Prabhuji, somehow or other, we are conducting a daily calling party, and some of the kids are joining. First day, Advait was asking, where are the kids? And then Anvaya was there along with Shirisha Mataji. So I said, Anvaya has joined, So, so they have been participating. We have been several calls, and the response is very nice. They are encouraging the kids. A couple of things I wanted to share. One of the lady that we called. Actually, one of the restaurant owner, and he was mentioning that the business is really slow. But I was mentioning before to him that everything has gone down, but the food is still going on because everybody needs to eat. So you're, I'm sure you're serving the community very nicely through your business. But he said that, we are vegetarian restaurant, and actually we are in loss, and there is more demand for the non-vegetarian. And he was mentioning that my partner is suggesting and forcing me that we should also serve, meat. But he said that I believe in, I'm holding on to my principles, and I want to, stay vegetarian. And he realized the, Bhagavad Gita cause, and he said, I won't be able to donate much, but I'm more than willing to give these Bhagavad Gitas. And he took 2 cases. And it was, and then one more person we called. He said that, oh, this is really nice. He's a clothing business. he also said that now there are no parties and nobody's celebrating the festivals, no gathering, nobody's buying clothes. So I really don't have much customers. But he said that I'm willing to give out these books when my shop opens, so you can drop it. And he said in 2021, I'm hoping that it will open up and I'll make some donation. I promise I'll make some donation. Then I asked him address, and he said his name is Said. Then I asked, do you pray to Allah? And then he said, yes. I was surprised. And I said, that's so nice of you to support the cause of Bhagavad Gita. And he said that, yes, all I have seen all throughout my life, many of my customers, they are friends, and I have participated in their prayers. And I believe in Bhagavad Gita, and I really want to support this. He also was very supportive. And last thing I wanted to mention, the first day of calling party, one of the lady we called, she was very encouraging. Advait spoke to her about the Bhagavad Gita cause, and she said that I would like to donate only for the food. You know, I saw many of your team, especially I saw the kids. She said they are very enthusiastically giving the books, but she was really concerned that some people are putting them away in an unclean place and probably not respecting. And she said, I'll donate only if you use it for the food. I said, we give in every year, we give lots of bread and soup for the homeless in San Francisco. And she was very happy to hear that. And after that, actually, she said, I'll make a donation when I get a chance. So on Happy New Year Day, I just texted her Happy New Year. I didn't ask her about the donation. I was just wishing everybody Happy New Year, whoever I'm in touch with her. And she called me. She said that, you guys are still doing the same thing. I went to Apna Bazaar yesterday, and she was really upset, and she said that you're an educated person, why are you doing this? This is not important. Do something substantial, give the food or give the clothing. And she went on and on and on, and she didn't give a chance to speak. And she said, I said, so I'm not going to donate. She said, if you're trying to follow up with me, or I saw your message, Happy New Year. So I said no problem at all. I totally respect your decision. And I was saying more things, and she said, okay, goodbye. And she hung up. But then because I didn't get a chance to explain to her, I texted her that this is not definitely, it's not waste of energy or money, or it's not nonsense. This is really important to print books, and every penny that is being donated is used for distributing these books. And people are in distress. We have a lot of instances where people have Bhagavad Gita has saved their lives and changed their lives. and I totally respect your concern that people are probably not keeping it in a proper way, and I understand. But you do a lot of charity. She does a lot of charity. She sends me some picture about kids sending thank you to her for her donation. So I just appreciated her service, and I said I just wanted to mention that, and didn't get a chance to speak to you yesterday. So I'm mentioning that. I texted her. And I was just really feeling sad that she has hard feeling for devotees, and I was praying that she can get rid of that and appreciate it instead, somehow or other. So I just requesting everybody to also pray for her, because she's a nice person, but having that feeling, if she's gonna see more of the books going out, because she goes to store and probably feel more of agony. So yeah. But overall, it's very nice, Prabhuji. And Shirisha Mataji is always there. Ananya and Nidhi Mataji are always there. They're calling so many friends. Ananya is the star. She always does lot of books, and she's sharing she immediately she does a book, she will come back and share the story, how she distributed the book. So yeah, sorry if I took more time.
Actually, it's very appropriate on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's appearance day that this point comes up. And it's something that His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj covers in the biography, Shri Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav. Just how much oftentimes people think of philanthropy as being feeding people. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta points out that most of the time they're doing more harm than good because they don't know exactly how to feed people and how to take care of them. He said for the sake of feeding people, they kill millions of animals. Then everyone gets involved in the sinful reaction. What to speak of the fact, even if you're giving vegetarian food, it comes and the hunger comes and the hunger goes. But if you get transcendental knowledge, then you can be cured. But it's a very rare person who can appreciate the depth of that actually the real cure, the panacea, is transcendental knowledge. But we do pray that she may have come to appreciate the work that we're doing here from ISV. But I can guarantee you one thing, even if she doesn't, that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur appreciates it. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Kameshwari. We are also seeing so many reports that some people whom we called 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago, they said they promised that they will donate, they will take a case, and they haven't come back. But just a few days ago, one person I spoke to like 6 weeks ago actually said, I told that I will donate. I will donate for 1 case of Bhagavad Gita, and they're coming back, to support this cause. And as also you were saying that how the holy names actually, whoever chants the holy name has performed all the yajna that you're reading this morning. I was thinking how is it possible that somebody gets a Bhagavad Gita all of a sudden? Because we were going to go to Sukeshwari's place to distribute like 500 or 600 Bhagavad Gitas, but somehow we had to shift the location to something else. And when I was driving and putting the books there, I was just thinking, how is it possible that only these people, like this neighborhood, actually gets the Bhagavad Gita? So they might have done something very pious in their previous life that they are getting a Bhagavad Gita right at their door along with prasadam. So I think everybody has really had nice time distributing books. And we are requesting everyone to report their scores because we have to compile all those scores before the next weekend. That's all, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Malini. And Shrisha Mataji has a point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. I want to update one thing, Prabhu. First, we started one reality group, Sharad Gupta, who started with 1 case and took for $1,500. He sent a text message, Prabhu. I want to read that. Many of my clients are sending thanks for the delivery, extending those thanks to you and your team. If we can be of any help going forward, let us know. I'll be loved to part of your team to help. He sent a text message, Prabhu. I wanted to share with this. Thank you.
A ripe fruit.
You are on mute, Prabhu.
Picking the ripe fruits. Some are ripe, some are medium, some are not ripe at all. And as you keep going, Shrisha, as you always do, you go through all different kinds and then you find the ripest of fruits who can really give their heart and soul and energy to the Sankirtan movement. Excellent service. And thank you for the report. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And your example, you've brought enthusiasm to the whole yatra by the way you spread the Sankirtan movement. May Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and all the acharyas empower you evermore. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, please report your scores. That's part of Sankirtan. In fact, it's the most important part to, it's the Purnahuti. You got to report your scores at the end. Otherwise, we can't make the offering properly. So take the trouble, please. And now we have some really hot off the presses updates from the Bhakti community, which is, while we're busy on lockdown here, we're finding that Jai Madhava Prabhu and Pavani Bhakti and family are spreading this all over the world. So as soon as we step out of this of this pandemic, we're going to find that Bhakti community has engulfed the whole world. Tell us about what's happening, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Our humble obeisances, all Vishweshwar Prabhupada. Thank you so much. So I wanted to give a quick recap of Bhakti community as always, just for those who are new, and then we'll go through some of the hot updates that you mentioned that we have for you. So as most of you know, Bhakti community is an online community primarily targeted for newcomers. So whenever we go out for book distribution or come in contact with any newcomer, we introduce Bhakti community to them, so that along with books, they also have a community to help them make progress in Bhakti. We have series of programs throughout the week from Monday to Sunday, which touches upon various wisdom as well as practices related to Bhakti community. So as I mentioned, if you can go to bhakticommunity.com/invite-newcomers. So there you'll get an email template which you can use to introduce Bhakti community whenever you come in contact with a newcomer. So I'll hand over to Pavani Bhakti for some of the latest updates for this week. Sorry, before that, we also have the stickers and bookmarks available. So if you're packing books or giving books, please do give bookmarks along with it. Vrinda Mataji has been kindly helping us out in coordinating this across multiple centers throughout US and Canada. So thanks to her, special thanks to her for doing all that. So I'll hand over to Pavani Bhakti now.
So as you all know, Bhakti community is now having a multiple partners. We are already live with Sydney, and the one new live that has gone is San Diego. All the other temples that are here, they are work in process, and they are excited to get live on Bhakti community and onboard all their newcomers. The latest addition is Latin America. We are working with a very inspiring and energetic team of Latin Americans who want to have Bhakti community in Spanish. So that's one of the latest highlight that we wanted to share. So because the request came that we want to have Bhakti community on Spanish, we have other requests from other communities for Chinese, French, Japanese, Russian, and Portuguese also. So we want to do a proof of concept with Spanish, and we're working with wonderful devotees from Argentina and Chicago and other places as well. We want just a few words from Prema Rupa Prabhu or Prema Rupini Mataji, if they can give a few words about what they are feeling about this new chapter of Bhakti community.
Yeah, so Bhakti community Spanish chapter, Prema Rupa Prabhu, Prema Rupini Mataji, if you can maybe share some perspective. And if you get pinned as well, their ID is Premas, Premas, so if you can pin them, please.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Thank you for all the assembled devotees here. Yeah, we are very happy to be part of this. It's a challenge, but we are very enthusiastic to have the opportunity to serve with all of you, to be more close and to expand the Krishna consciousness, but by this wonderful system and this very wonderful media. So we will work hard. We ask for all the blessings of all of you. That is, without your blessings, this will not be possible. So please bless us with intelligent enthusiasm and to be humble also.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
you, Mataji. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we are also pretty excited and very inspired with all the energy which is flowing from Prema Rupa Prabhu and Prema Rupini Mataji. Thank you so much for inspiring us, Prabhu. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, another exciting information is that, as you all know, Bhakti community is a non-profit entity. And we have been waiting for this day. Now we have a new interface, as you can see here. For anybody who wants to sign up for Bhakti community, they can either sign up using PayPal or Stripe, or they can sign up without any donation. While we appreciate if people can give us donation, because it's Sukriti in the first place, and we have a lot of ambitious projects in the future where we will need funds. So any amount is fine. We are okay, but at the same time, We have a team led by Priyanka Mataji, who is going to onboard people who join. So if you have anybody who is a newcomer and interested to join Bhakti community, you can show them this page. It's on the Bhakti community website. They can sign in using PayPal, Stripe, or they can sign in without any donation, 0 amount. All we need is just their email ID, their name, and from whom are they referred by. And they need to just go to the Bhakti community private portal. So we have 2 Facebook accounts of Bhakti community. One is a public facing account and the other is a private account. So on the private account, they will just need to say join group, and our team will accept them into Bhakti community portal. So all the information is on this page, and please feel free to share this website with your contacts who are newcomers, and they can join Bhakti community.
So if there are any questions,
I distribute Bhagavad Gita.
Very good. So now we are excited to announce 2 go lives. One is Bhakti Community Sydney, as well as Bhakti Community San Diego. So I invite Rasa Mataji to come and share her experience about working with Sydney team and making them go live. Rasa Mataji.
Hare Krishna devotees, Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for this opportunity for announcing the live of Bhakti Community Sydney. For the last several months, we've been working with Sydney devotees to onboard them into Bhakti community. And it's been a great experience for me, especially to see their enthusiasm and eagerness in adapting to Bhakti community. And it made me realize the global need for Bhakti community. So I'm very grateful for Sydney devotees for their cooperation with this. And I'm also very grateful for ISV devotees for giving me this opportunity, and would like to express the deepest of gratitudes from the entire team and from the entire Bhakti community team to the ISV family here. And we would like to present the video now, right, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a testimonial from the Sydney team. We, as Rasa Mataji mentioned, will play.
Hare Krishna. I'm Ganasham Govinda Das. I'm a Temple Council member of ISKCON Sydney.
Hare Krishna. My name is Radha Vinod Das. I currently serve on the ISKCON Sydney Temple Council.
One of the challenges we have faced during our outreach programs is how to keep our members engaged. During weekends, we were able to bring them to our different programs, make them participate in the different activities. However, to keep them engaged during the weekdays has always been a struggle. It was then we got introduced to Bhakti Community Project. It's a wonderful initiative inspired by Vaisesika Prabhu and executed by Jai Madhav Prabhu, Rasa Mataji and their wonderful team of devotees.
We were looking to launch some online, or I would say self-learning videos that would offer intro to Bhakti or intro to Bhagavad Gita.
It was then we got introduced to Bhakti Community Project. As someone who was closely involved in customizing the page, I realized it doesn't need any IT skills at all. We could use most of the material that was readily available in Bhakti Community website out of the box.
Setting up this page requires little or no prior IT experience because the videos and all of the other material that's there for us to create a page are actually quite self-explanatory.
And we could see different members of our community. They are actively logging in it, participating in the different courses. We could track their progress. This project also comes along with the webpage, a backend tool that will help us track the progress of the different members. We can send out newsletters to them. We can send reminders. We can add notes.
And that gets updated every week with new and newer podcasts from His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu, His Grace Naveen Naroda Prabhu. So we just recently went live with our page 2 weeks ago. and the feedback that we're getting is actually very, very positive. A lot of our members are really thoroughly enjoying those videos, gaining new insights, engaging in discussions.
And this way, we can actually track the progress of a prospective devotee from the time the person walks in the door to the time the person progresses, taking different steps in Krishna consciousness, and finally becoming a fully practicing Krishna conscious devotee. I want to take this opportunity to thank the wonderful team behind this beautiful project.
And we are really happy that this is the start of a virtual community that we had envisaged for a long, long time. So we would like to offer our thanks to His Grace, again, His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu and his team, Jai Madhava Prabhu, Rasa Mataji, for really bringing this tool to us.
And we are very excited to be part of this wonderful journey. Hare Krishna.
So we are pretty excited. So thank you so much, Rasa Mataji, for leading this first temple to come on Bhakti community from Australia. And also thank you very much for Kamalshi Mataji. She has also joined the team, and she is also now closely working with Rasa Mataji and the Sydney team to make sure it becomes adopted and all the newcomers keep coming on board with Bhakti community. So wonderful. We are very, very happy. So thank you both. We have one more announcement to make. And if you have Siddhakata Prabhu, if you can maybe just come in.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right. So, Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my prostrated obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. Wishing all devotees a very happy Krishna conscious year. With about San Diego Bhakti community, working on that, I feel very grateful to you, Gurudev, and to Jai Madhava Prabhu for giving me this opportunity to work on this project. I feel blessed that I'm able to contribute in a small way to your vision. San Diego implementation was really great. It was special for me as it felt that I'm going back to my alma mater, as that community helped me put together my building blocks on Krishna consciousness. I'm very thankful to Subhadra Mataji for her awesome support and giving me timely feedback when I was setting up the community page. Her enthusiasm helped me maintain the momentum, and her feedback helped me fine-tune the look and feel of the website to make it San Diego specific. Maharaj, I request your blessings so Bhakti Community San Diego will expand in a huge way and help spread the love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over San Diego. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on this divine day of your disappearance, please bless Bhakti community and help it to spread all over the world so people can take advantage of the process of devotional service that you so kindly passed down to us. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I just wanted to thank both Siddhakata Prabhu as well as Janki Mataji, who's been working on San Diego and praying that they continue to make progress and bring more and more newcomers to Bhakti community. Thank you so much. Those were the updates for this week.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone.
Gaur Premanande, Haribol. Beautiful work.
Maharaj, I have a request. When it comes to the references on Bhakti community, I was wondering that now, because we put Bhakti community cards everywhere, when we did the cookie packs, when we give out books and Trimurti sets, I would request that the references, where did you get reference from, be a little more detailed so we can also track down what's most effective in our distribution of the Bhakti community cards. Just a request, Maharaj.
Wonderful to be done. Thanks, Mataji, for the feedback. We will do that.
I'm glad that you understood what she meant and that you'll do it. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Sharirat Vijaja Jatendriya Tahika
Jive Pele Vishaya Shagare Dharma Jeti Bayati Lobo Muisu Durmati. Krishna Bora Doyamo Dori Bari Haja Shapusha Anandi Loba Shayanda Vitapao Radha Krishna Gunagao Premidako Shri Chaitanya Premidako Shri Chaitanya Nita Prasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sapapunya Vedam Brajan Vishwatso Nagajayate Prasade Sarva Dukana Hanirasyo Pajayate Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Udvaryavatishtate Tvayo Prabhuta Shraganda Vasulankara Charchitaha Uchishta Bhujino Dasas Sabamaya Jayemahi. Breakfast at 12 o'clock. Nitai Goda Haribo 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 Nitai Goda Haribo Haribo Nitai Goda Tagore Premanande. Can everyone unmute, please, and say Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Jare. Hey, Bhaja Govinda Gopala Hare. Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Gopala, Radhe Gopala, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Gopala, Radhe Gopala, Bhajare, hey, Bhaja Govinda, Gopala Hare. Aise Shri Bhagavan ko mere parambara pranam Aise Shri Bhagavan ko mere parambara pranam Aise Shri Jnana Shyama ko mere parambara pranam Aise Shri Jnana Shyama ko mere parambara pranam Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Vanchakopalavrishta, Kripa Sindhubevacha, Patitanam Pavanibhyo, Vaishnavebhyo. Namo Namaha. Keep the transcendental sound vibration going. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.